Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? It's Tuesday, man. I'm off the clock. My hours is cut for the time being, and I'm not too thrilled about it. But it is what it is, man. We'll get through this hump of peep game. Let's get into this shit, man. And man, this is something that I made a status about it on Facebook on one of my boxing forums, one of my mini boxing forums that I'm on. I put it in two different oh my damn, the police. I put it in two forums that I'm on, and it's a question that I've been asking for, not some time, but it's something that dawned on me just recently, and that is, you dig, we look, all right, Mexicans and blacks are the two biggest boxing consumers and contributors to the sport of boxing here in North America. And before everybody started coming over here, we had the immigrant class that we are now. Granted, blacks are not immigrants in America, and if we're being real, Mexicans aren't immigrants in America. They're just not. So we, as far as minorities, and I don't, that's not a phrase that I use, but just for the sake of the argument, it's a phrase that I'm going to use here. But as far as minorities in this country, we've always been the two most, maybe not celebrated, but when you thought minority class, you always thought of our two demographics. And you have Chicanos here in America who hold their customs back on their homeland of Mexico near and dear to their heart, and they revere it, they relish in it, they're proud of it. Culturally, they just they're proud people. They're proud people, and they hold their days. They commemorate their days like no other. You dig? To the point where you have, you got to look at Floyd, and I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. Well, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get into it now. Floyd understood how impactful this fucking day, this day was for the people, for that demographic of people, to where he colonized that day, took that day over, and fought fought on that day exclusively, man, and to the point where he did, just I think he was the one who came up with the paradigm that black people can't sell. You dig? They got a whole country behind them. They got a whole country behind them. That was always his excuse to fight, the Hispanic, a Hispanic fighter. He'll fight a Puerto Rican on Cinco de Mayo. You dig? He'll fight a Argentine on Cinco de Mayo. You dig what I'm saying? But he fought on these days. And you got a fighter like Canelo coming in who's like, nah, man, Mexican Independence Day and Cinco de Mayo, those are my days. And he's taking those days over. And we're looking for the next Mexican to see who's going to be the next Mexican to take over the reins, you dig, when it comes to that, man. But my thing is this: why is it that black American fighters, because we've always been one of the majorities in this sport as far as greats are concerned, why is it that we can't corner a holiday that celebrates, that speaks to us and celebrates us as a people here in America? You dig? There's no way we get Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth as national holidays. Get those days recognized as national holidays, and you don't have one black fighter that's looking to fight on those days. You got a nigga like Floyd Mayweather that will corner the market, that will fight on Cinco de Mayo as a black man, and to the point where he would be very much so, what's the word, demonstrative and cynical with the garb that he would come out in, to the point where that would trickle down into to black fighters fighting other Mexican fighters, coming out in the ponchos and the sombreros and all that, and the Mexican colors. It was very much, it was done to be taunting them. It was done to be just disingenuous and just mocking them. I remember I told y'all before. I remember specifically when he fought Oscar De La Hoya and he came out on Cinco de Mayo. Was that Cinco de Mayo? I'm not sure what day that fell on, but he came out in all Mexican garb, the red, white, and green Mexican sombrero and the poncho and all. It was just real. It was real disrespectful. It was real insensitive to their culture and to their people. You dig? He did that. He did that. But why couldn't he cornerstone? Why couldn't he fight on the June? On Juneteenth? Why couldn't he fight on Martin Luther King Day? Let's say Martin Luther King and his ideologies aren't necessarily in line and in tandem with what your ideologies are, as far as how he dealt with white supremacy and systemic racism. Why couldn't you fight on Malcolm X Day? We've been trying to, we've been making it we really been making it an issue on the grassroots to commemorate the day of the birthday of Malcolm X. Why couldn't he fight on the? Why couldn't he pick out that? What was that March? Not March. May 19th to fight on that day. You want to have May so bad? All right, cool. Fight on a different day in May. Malcolm X's birthday falls on that month. Why couldn't you take the month of December for Kwanzaa and commemorate that day? I personally would like to fight, to have cats fight on the day of Kujichagulia. The honorable, the imperial Dr. Khalid Muhammad, he always, whenever he would go on the soliloquies, he would go on and debate, whether it was on the show with people trying to oppose his point of view and his perspective, he would always mention the day of Kujichagulia, self-determination. That's what that translates to in Swahili. Why couldn't you pick that day to fight on? And it's not, and because everybody wants to be like Floyd. Everybody wants to be like Floyd. I think I've been of the mindset for some time now. We need a complete detox of Floyd Mayweather, man, because that dude, he wasn't really a good representation of us. Incredibly talented boxer who just so happened to be black, but he's not a good representation of us. He's not. That dude goes against everything that people on the grassroots stand for. I don't see how we just forget consistently that this dude walked into the fucking Gucci store to protest us protesting Gucci. I don't get that. This is the same nigga who said all lives matter. This is the same nigga who's done everything he could to derail Devin Haney and all of the momentum that he had going in favor of him. Yo, let me give let me indoctrinate Ryan Garcia. Let me give him some game. Coming to the fight heavy. Yo, to look at the sparring footage of Devin Haney and Tank. Just really being a thorn in the side of black progression, and then turn around, I want to look out for black fighters, and then do that dumb shit that you did to Devin Haney with Ryan Garcia. Man, get the fuck out of here. We need a complete detox of Floyd. We do. We need a complete detox of Floyd. Money. Everything with him is about money. That's not a good representation of the brethren. It's not. So let's get out of that mind state and start to carve a lane out for your own. That was a man who did. He wanted Mexican money. He wanted the money of the Latinos. He didn't too much give a fuck about us. So who's gonna be that next man to fill that void? Nobody is making it their business to fight consistently in the month of February. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Black History Month. I'm not, because Carter G. Woodson, he carved out the day, that month to commemorate Abraham Lincoln. And we all know what type of degenerate and detractor of black society he was. He opposed, the abolishment of slavery. He opposed it. He said, if we can keep the Union intact, I'll keep slavery intact. That's not a man to commemorate whatsoever. It's the shortest day of the month. Everybody's in the house, man. We get hit with drag out weather up here. So I'm not of the mindset that we should be celebrating a month for us in the month of October. Not October, but February. You dig? I'm just not. I prefer it in the summertime where the energy is high. Just everybody's outside. You just want to be outside and go and kick it with the brethren. Niggas is on the block. Niggas is on the front porch with barbecues, it's cookouts. It's all type of shit going on in the summertime. That's when I think, Black History Month should be. That should be a celebration in that month. But because he carved that piece out for us, that month out for us, that's just something we're going to have to stick to. But we don't have one black fighter that's trying to fight in the month of February. We can't have 4 fighters of the Black American demographic pick out I'm fighting on this weekend right here. It's nobody that's making noise saying that shit, man. Like, that shit is baffling to me. How nobody has caught on to this. We allowed the same government who has put us through the mistreatment that they put us through to commemorate 2 of our holidays. The same, but now granted, they're not doing it to our benefit. They're not doing it, we're gonna commemorate these people. They're not doing it out of being benevolent. Nah, they're definitely looking to capitalize on the shit. I've seen so much Juneteenth shit in Walmart. I go to the mall, I'm seeing Juneteenth shit. White models White models modeling in Juneteenth attire. You dig? I just think that's the biggest insult in the world. Get the fuck out of here. But it's something to be capitalized on because now black culture is being celebrated abroad. More so now than ever. Commercials, you dig, they're using our vernacular, they're using our slang. I'm seeing a lot of white women walking around with locks in their hair. I'm seeing all type of wild shit. The dashikis and everything. They've been doing that since, the kente cloth was in full effect. White folks walking around in dashikis with the kente cloth and all that. I've been seeing that for some time, but it's a lot, black culture is a lot more celebrated in the now because it's so undeniable. Hip hop culture in particular. You dig? So I see that. I see that. So they picked up on that and they decided to say, yo, Juneteenth is a national holiday. Martin Luther King Day is a national holiday. We're going to recognize these days as national holidays. So Juneteenth becomes a national holiday and it's going to allow white people to get a day off for those days. Oh, my fucking God. But whatever. The point is, why hasn't it, for all of the black fighters that we have, why can't we get that same level of support and just preservation of the culture that Mexicans have for their culture? Why can't we get that? Why can't we match that energy? You dig? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that. With just the amount of black fighters that we have, there's no reason for that because we still are the cornerstone of American boxing. We are. Us and Mexicans, it's undeniable. It's no debate. It's no debate. It's no debate. And Puerto Ricans will be after Mexicans. It is no debate. We still them niggas, man. We still them niggas. Oh, shit. Oh. Damn, son. Oh, man. No. I gotta get over. All right, hold on. Pardon my... Gotten a little distracted. Traffic got a little heavy. Yeah, all right, cool. Shout out Chicago. They let a nigga over. They probably mad at me right now, cussing me out, but it is what it is. But why can't we get these holidays preserved for us? Why can't not preserved for us, but why can't a black fighter say this is the day that I'm fighting on? Why can't 4 black fighters say, yo, we are gonna fight each weekend in the month that makes up February? Why can't we turn around and say, yo, Canelo can have Mexican Independence Day, man. Give me the 19th for Martin Luther King, Malcolm X's birthday. Why can't we get a black fighter to say, yo, man, Juneteenth, what's happening? Juneteenth, what's happening? When you go to Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day celebrations, man, they have an entire day carved out for those celebrations. Over here on the South Side, man, they have like a little carnival thing on the South Side. It's rides, it's vendors, it's all type of wild shit. It's festive as a motherfucker. And what did they do at the end of the night? We know where, who ordering the fight? Who ordering the fight? They gonna show it in bars and all type of shit. It's a day of celebrating Mexican culture and Mexican heritage. Same thing on Mexican Independence Day, man. Why can't we on Juneteenth? We have the parade up here. They have the parade for Cinco de Mayo as well. But up here we got the Juneteenth parade. After the parade is over, we're gonna slide over to here and see where they got the vendors at. People are gonna be promoting their businesses in a big space to celebrate Black American culture. You dig? It's gonna be free food, it's vending, it's all of that, man. It's gonna be a festive day, a day full of festivities, man. Why can't we cap that night off by having one of our representatives fighting on behalf of us? One of our talents in the sport to fight on behalf of us. Why can't we get that? Come on, my nigga, ain't no one. All right, bro. Why can't we get that? Why can't we get that? Why are none of you fighting? Why are none of you black fighters not looking to take lead on this? Why? Why? You don't think that's the best way to, galvanize the people? You don't think that's the best way to say, hey, yo, just to have all the, have that particular demographic galvanize around you? You dig what I'm saying? You dig me? That's real deal nationalism right there, man. That's real deal nationalism. Because what you say, yo, that, patterns, they eventually get picked up on. And if you get in the habit of saying, hey, yo, man, after 2 or 3 years, if that, we got black people fighting on every weekend for Black History Month. We're still trying to get Malcolm X's birthday recognized as a grassroots pastime and a day of celebration. Eventually, people pick up on that. If anything, even if they could just so happen to be boxing fans and they want to watch a fight. Yo, what is going on with you? In your interviews before you warming up for the fight, you dig, or leading up to the fight, they're gonna ask you, yo, so this is the day of. Can you explain why you're fighting on this day? That gets the people familiar with the heroes and sheroes and the revolutionary activists and our warrior scholars from yesterday. You dig? You're fighting on you decided to fight on Juneteenth for. They're gonna ask you this in these interviews, man. And these are saying with social media, with everything going viral, that's gonna resonate with the people, my nigga. It's gonna resonate with the people more so than you know. And with it resonating with the people, my nigga, like you have you have them at your not your disposal, but you have them as a support base. Because that is the overall goal, if I'm not mistaken. You need support. You need a support system. It is a reason why Muhammad Ali can step out in the streets of Philadelphia talking about where's Joe Frazier on the side of North Philly. Where Joe Frazier is from. Where is Joe Frazier? And everybody crowd around him. He's amassing thousands of people in the streets, and he's the leader of that. It's a reason for that, because that man never allowed his tax bracket and his celebrity to pull him away from the people. It's a reason for that. Deontay Wilder, as boisterous as he is, why couldn't he fought on a day? I think he's fought in February. It wasn't consistent enough though. You dig? So that I think that's a question that needs to be had. A conversation that needs to be had with the black masses. It does. When you got someone like Abdullah Mason, you got someone like him coming up. Abdullah, you dig? I'm sure Islam is in his family. His parents must have had to have been Islam, you dig? Because I forget what his brother's name is, but it's something relegated in Islamic faith and nationalism. It's something It's something within that biosphere. You got a brother like him coming up. Hey, yo, you know what? We gonna do that. I want to do that. I want to fight. I want to fight in February and I want to fight in June. If I can't get February, I'll get June. And then I want to cap my year off by fighting in December. That's how you galvanize a people, man. And if what the numbers are saying, what Edgar Berlanga and Canelo is, if that is true, because their estimate, it's looking like the numbers is hovering around 750K. And he was able to do that with Edgar Berlanga. Bro, that's a successful pay-per-view right there. That's a real successful pay-per-view. Why can't we replicate that? I think it's a travesty that we don't do that, man. I think it's a travesty that no other fighter has said, "Yo, man, let's make this happen. We gonna cap our celebrations off by me crashing somebody in honor of us." Where's the brethren that's trying to really commemorate us, especially what is as acceptable as it is with what they call woke culture. You dig? Everybody wants to be knowledgeable on their history and their lineage and the struggle that we're still relegated to here in this country. You dig? Everybody wants to, they want a war chant. They want all of that shit. They want they want our voices to be heard. I've never seen this many people politically unified when it comes to the Kamala Harris. I'm seeing people who are, we're not voting for no Kamala Harris, and they have their reasons as to why they're not voting for Kamala Harris. That's a beautiful thing. So now let's continue to take this step in the right direction. Cool, they hearing my voice now. I bet this is what we're gonna do. Give me a day in February. Give me a day in May. Give me a day in June. Give me one of the 7 days of Kwanzaa in December. Give me one of them days. I think that's something that really needs to be considered amongst the black, the black fighters. If you really want to galvanize the people, the brethren, pick one of them days out. Pick one of them days out. Sometimes one of y'all undercard, the other times y'all main event. But let's just get into that mind state, man. What really did it for me was with Turki Al-Sheikh. He's throwing a fight card for the Mexicans, and I think that's dope because I think every culture should be celebrated. Every culture should be celebrated. If you're a nation within a nation, all right, cool. It's nothing wrong with your customs being celebrated, man. There's nothing wrong with that, and this is how we're gonna commemorate you. Puerto Ricans, if it was enough active Puerto Rican fighters, all right, cool. Let's make a fight card on behalf of them. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. You got Puerto Rican fighters who want to celebrate the fight, who want to fight on, the day of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. They hold their customs near and dear to their heart. Why don't we do the same thing? Why do our athletes not do the same thing? Well, we've been so socially engineered to bow down to a motherfucker opposing with it. I remember people saying Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce was bringing back racism because she wanted to commemorate the Panthers in her Super Bowl performance. I was like, yo, that's a ridiculous take, especially considering that them dudes wasn't bigoted at all. Like y'all clearly haven't researched what the Panthers were about. The Rainbow Coalition, like let's stop playing games. But whenever our celebrations is put on the big screen to celebrate blackness and nappy hair with the cake cutter hanging out the back of the afro, all that shit gets frowned upon. You dig? But who gives a fuck? But you being a dude who's not giving a fuck about what the status quo is and what the general consensus is of the white public, that right there is going to be more than enough to resonate with the people. So yeah, we gonna fight on Malcolm X's birthday. We're going to fight on the day that Marcus Garvey created the UNIA flag, the red, black, and green, the Pan-African flag. We're going to fight on that day. Just pick out a day where our warrior scholars, or days that are set aside for us to be celebrated, our culture and our customs and our heritage here in this country to be celebrated. Carve out a day and fight on that day. Carve out a day and fight on it. And I think that right there will be the dopest thing y'all can, one of the dopest contributions y'all can offer to the sport of boxing. For y'all to fight on one of them days. I guarantee you the amount of support you'll get with the people. It'll be a beautiful thing, man. It'll be a beautiful thing. It'll be a beautiful thing, man. So that's something I would really like black fighters to think about. Get in that mind frame and go for the gusto. And not just one of y'all, but a handful of y'all. There's more than enough of y'all that are like-minded to where y'all can do this shit. There's more than enough of y'all. So go for it. Make us proud. You definitely gonna have my support. If it's a pay-per-view, I'm buying it. Just because it's on behalf of the brethren. And you're being a voice for us. Despite them not wanting you to do that. So that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Y'all let me know if I'm wilding or if I'm on to something, man. I'll get with y'all later. Deuces.